120 seconds. 110 seconds. 100 seconds. 90 seconds. 80 seconds. 70 seconds. 60 seconds. 50 seconds. 40 seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Hi,
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Good morning again. This is Jonathan Small, host and producer of All About You. And All About You is basically a revamp edition of a show that's designed to give the guest his or her life story. And it's a show that's going to be broadcast live every week at accesstv.org studios in downtown Hartford. This morning on All About You, we have a living legend in the boxing world. He goes down as one of the greatest heavyweight boxing champions of all time. And it's a pleasure and an honor to have this guest as basically the first guest on the revamp edition of All About You via Zoom. No other than the legend, world boxing heavyweight champion, Larry Holmes. Good morning, Larry. How are you doing?
Good morning, Jonathan.
Okay.
Hanging in there, buddy.
All right. You're looking well, Larry. It's a pleasure to have you on. And Larry, I believe you were born technically in Georgia, but you was raised and grew up in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, born in Georgia, left there when I was 5 years old, and I moved to Easton, and I stayed there.
Now, what was it like for you growing up in Easton, Pennsylvania?
Kind of rough, because I was an out of towner and going to school. The kids picked on me and stuff like that because I'm from Georgia, and they picked on me. But I got through it and kept right on going.
When did this desire and passion for boxing started in your life?
Well, I started going to the PAL because they were teaching boxing up there, and I wanted to learn. Therefore, they booked me and put me in the gym and teaching me how to fight and protect myself, and that's what I did.
Who did you grow up in Eastern Pennsylvania looking up to, and did you like any other particular sports beyond boxing?
Yeah, I played football. I tried to play basketball, and I hit boxing, and that's where I stayed.
Mm-hmm. And again, who did you kind of look up to in boxing when you was started off in the boxing?
Back then, Ali.
Ali.
Yeah, I was young, coming up. Ali was fighting Frazier and Lyle and all them guys, and I wanted to be like Muhammad Ali.
What particular style did you try to? Because your boxing style is a little bit different than Ali. You have one of the best left jabs in boxing history. So, was there any particular fighter that you tried to emulate their boxing style from?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. I
Okay.
tried to imitate his stuff
Uh huh.
because he was there. He was on top, and he let me be a sparring partner, and I was his sparring partner. And I traveled with him, and I was learning how to fight while I was on the road. So Muhammad Ali was my idol. He was still my idol, And I learned, excuse me, I learned a whole lot from Muhammad Ali.
Uh huh. Now, as an amateur boxing, I mean, how was it like, as an amateur before you became pro?
Well, I got into the '72 Olympics, and I boxed in the Olympics, and of course, at that time I was a black man going into a white man's thing, and they didn't want me in there. They wanted a guy named Dwayne Bobbitt,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the man supposed to have been representing uh, the United States. And I fought him. I thought I won, but I didn't win. They kept me as an amateur, and I said, heck with this, and I turned pro.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'm gonna get paid for it, and that's what I did.
Do you remember your first professional fight?
Yeah, name was Rodell Dupree, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Think, and that's a long time ago. But I fought him. I won the fight, and that was all that mattered.
Well, back then, boxers used to always fight like in their hometown. I mean, watching sports on particularly CBS or ABC, most of the fighters, if they had like two fighters fighting, they would have one fighter fighting in their hometown. So, did you have a lot of fights in the beginning of your career in Eastern Pennsylvania
No,
or near that area?
they was trying to get me out of there because I could fight. I
Uh
would fight back. You don't have to support me in another fight, but I fought the amateur. My first long distance fight was in Minnesota.
huh.
I fought a guy by the name of Nick Wells, and I never forget that. He beat me, but not beat me. But I just went on, kept doing it, and kept learning and training with Ali. Got to meet Ali and Joe Frazier, guys like that, Ron Lau. I was meeting those guys. I was fighting those guys. They would show me how to do certain things, and that's what I did.
Now, Larry, when you was fighting Ali, did that kind of build up your confidence that you was fighting the greatest or one of the
The
greatest
greatest.
heavyweight?
Yeah.
Okay, the greatest heavyweight boxing champions at that time.
Couldn't tell me nothing, man. I would walk down the street with my head up high
Uh huh.
and doing the Muhammad Ali dance, whatever they wanted me to do. I did it. Ali was my man, my friend. Matter of fact, way after I stopped boxing with him, I visited him at the camp and whatnot. And, I learned even more from him. Uh, and that helped me along with my career.
Well, Larry, did you want to fight Ali professionally when you were sparring with him, or were you just satisfied with fighting Ali as a sparring or partner?
That's what I did. I was satisfied with that because I didn't want to fight Ali because I know he could beat me at that time.
Uh
I
huh.
know he could beat me, but then they messed around and some way he lost his title, and then I was in line, and then when I got out of line, I fought Muhammad Ali, and that was a great moment, great thing that I done, and I told Ali, I love you, man, and I'm not gonna hurt you, and I'm not gonna let you get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He, he said, boy, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna be black off you. I'm gonna beat you.
Right.
And, and I thought, oh man, you know you can't beat me no more. She used to beat me all the time.
Uh,
Can't do it no more.
that was when you fought him though, when he started saying that, because y'all had a big, and I don't want to skip right to 1980, but I know he was really cocky and boasting when
Yeah,
y'all was getting that fight together in 1980. Uh, so you kind of knew that you were gonna defeat Ali. I mean, you was well established at that time. You were younger, so there was no doubt in your mind that you was gonna defeat Ali.
I told Ali, I said, look, man, we're gonna fight. We gotta fight, but the public is demanding it. But don't take no punches. Don't get hit. Don't make me punch you all over the ring.
Mm,
And he said, boy, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. You can't fight. I said, man, you don't even go that way, Ali, because you know you can't beat me. I'm beating you up in the gym.
yeah.
And he says, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. Oh, I want Holmes. I want Holmes. And I said, you don't worry, you gonna get me. They give me this money, I'm gonna go get you.
Uh,
So that's the way I did.
Well, I remember you mentioning that you really didn't want to fight Ali, but just that amount of money that they threw or that they put on the table, it was just hard to turn down. Is that how you felt, or was it a little bit more to it than just that?
It was about money.
Okay.
I fought for money. I
Uh,
didn't know what Ali fought for, but I fought for money, and I knew that. But he always got it in his mind that he could beat me. He said, "I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna show you something. You my spy partner. You can this." I said, "Oh man," I said, "just don't get hurt, Ali, because I'm gonna bang on you."
uh,
And oh, you can't bang. You can't beat me. You're a sparring partner. And we carried that track on down to the day I walked into the ring.
right.
For,
Well, obviously, from what I remember, you kind of held back during the fight. I mean, you could have really laid more damage to Ali, but you was at some point during the fight, you didn't want to really hurt Ali. Could you kind of break that down a little bit?
Yeah, I told her, man, don't take all these punches, man. Don't take all these punches, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking too many punches. Just shut up, boy. I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. And we still, I'm banging him, and I didn't want to bang him. I said, man, don't be taking these punches. Don't take these punches. I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. I said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go harder, and I went harder. I went harder, and then tell the referee say that's enough.
Yeah, because it looked like to me, champ, he never really started fighting. I mean, he was just trying to play a defensive style and cover up, and that wasn't
Yeah.
this normal Ali that people were accustomed to seeing.
He couldn't do nothing because I had his style. I
Mm-hmm.
had his style. I had everything he had. I had and more.
Mm-hmm.
And he was getting banged, and I said, "Man, don't take no more of this. Don't take no more of this. Shut up, boy. Shut up. You ain't nothing. You ain't my spot partner." I said, "Okay, okay. Take this. Bang. Take this. Bang." I didn't hurt him, and
Mm.
I'm glad the referee did come in and stop the fight.
Well, actually, I think it was Angelo Dundee that threw in a towel, and then I think they was forced. I think it was like after the 10th round, and they
Mm-hmm.
just said no more because Ali was just not fighting, and he couldn't take.
Right.
I guess they was worrying about his safety, to be honest, man. I mean, you was just.
Listen, a young man like me at that time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, beating up this guy that time has passed him by, and we fought. I fought. I beat him. I hit him, and till Angelo Dundee or whoever stopped the fight through the towel and said, "Hey, no more of this. No more of this."
Mm-hmm.
And I was afraid. And after the fight, you know what Ali said? "I'll be back."
That's Ali.
You gotta be back.
Uh,
Yeah.
and you had tears in your eyes, I believe, after the post
Oh,
interview or something.
yeah. I had a lot of tears in my eyes. I was a crybaby, and the guys laughed at me, but
Mm-hmm.
I did what I had to do. Him or me, and
Right.
it ended up being me.
Mm. Well, champ, let's go back a little bit, because you had some big fights leading up to your world championship first fight with Ken Norton. I
Hmm.
believe I heard you mention that Ernie Shavers was one of the hardest fighters that you ever fought, or he could hit the hardest.
Yeah,
Um,
boy, if he hits you, you might as well say good night. But I was stronger than that part. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Because when he hit me, it hurt. I mean, if he knocked you down, he knocked me down. You know what I mean? And I
mhm.
got up. But Ernie was one hard puncher. Nobody wanted to fight out Ernie. He put it out there and tried to get me.
And you fought Ernie Shavers twice too, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, because the first fight was elimination for me to fight for the title,
Mhm.
and I had to beat Ernie Schaefer to get that, and that's why Ali came in. Yeah, Ernie was one heck of a fighter. He was he knock you out, he break you out, break your nose, anything he hit.
Okay. So again, you would even say Ernie hit you harder or hurted you more than Mike Tyson. Is that fair to say? They're about the same.
Yeah, yeah, because Mike Tyson didn't hit me that hard. He he got me when I was out of shape. Ernie Schaefer hit me,
Right.
and I went down. So
Hmm.
I had to take that punch. Out of the punching power that they have, Ernie Schaefer was better. It was better.
Right. Well, again, my first visual seeing you fight as a kid was when you fought Ken Norton for the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. And many people say this is one of the greatest fights of all time. Leading into that fight, what was your impression on Kenny Norton going up against him for the title?
Well, I knew Ken Norton because of working with Joe Frazier and them guys like that, and I learned the style of Kenny Norton from Joe Frazier because Joe Frazier ducked down, buck and put the hands up and go to work on him. That's what he did, and
Mm-hmm.
he was a good man, Ken Norton. Uh, but I escaped by they say 1 point, and that was good enough for me. That's a win.
Well, I believe the fight was even after 14 rounds, seven apiece, to 7-7, and then the
We was
15th round was the deciding factor of this particular fight. Did you knew that going into the 15th round?
Hey, I knew that I had to fight this guy, and I fought him
Mm,
up to the last bell, and he congratulated me, and I congratulated him. But it was a tough fight.
mm-hmm.
But he lost his respect for me after that.
Right.
So I said, okay, that's all. Just because I win, the judges judge the fight. They say I won, and I did beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a great, great fight, a classic fight,
yeah.
and that puts you as the world heavyweight boxing champion. Now, how did that make you feel now, becoming the world
Man,
boxing
make
heavyweight
me
champion?
feel, man. I was walking around in Easton, man,
Uh,
P-Bird, and I'm the champ. I'm the champ. Larry Holmes, I'm the champ. They said I couldn't do it. They said I would never be able to do it, and I've
mm,
done it. I proved it.
right.
And I will dedicate myself to do it again, and I did.
Champ, how did you establish this devastating left jab? I mean, everybody gives you so much recognition for having the best left jab in boxing history, or one of the best. I mean, how did that come about with your left
Coming
jab?
with Ali, Ali make you have a jab. You got to beat him to the punch. If you can't beat Ali to the punch, you can't win no fight. Because he had the quick jab, whop, whop, whop,
Uh,
whop. He had the quick jab, fast jab, and it would hurt you with that jab.
yeah.
But I was able to overcome that because of the 4 years of working out with him in the gym. I learned how to do it, so it was all me.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
now I believe every time you would have your fights, the song "Ain't No Stopping Us Now" would be played. Did you decide that that was going to be your theme introduction song when you entered the ring? If you remember
I
that.
like them guys. Them guys are good guys, man. Sing that song and let me use it. Ain't no stopping us now. I still play it in my club. I still play it.
Uh-huh.
Ain't no stopping us now because them guys was good. Let me use the record and stuff like that, and I was able to come out with it. That was great.
Right. Now, when did this desire for you to establish so many businesses? I mean, again, as a kid, you was one of my idols, and I would always look at the fights on CBS Sports, and they would always show Larry Holmes having this business here in Eastern Pennsylvania, this business here. Uh, what made you decide that that's what you wanted to establish? You know, building up businesses in your hometown.
I just wanted to save money
Mm-hmm.
and earn money. Yeah, I didn't really think too much of the businesses because I bought like beer garden partners and stuff like that. But my brother, I gave it to my brother and let them do it. But I like the song, the music.
Uh huh.
Ain't no stopping it now. McFadden and Whitehead, I still play it.
Still right.
Them guys still play it. My thing song is "Ain't No Stopping It Now."
Uh huh.
I'm sorry, boys, but I took your song, but I'm using it in good reasons.
Yes. Now, your love for Eastern Pennsylvania, I mean, you have the ability to live anywhere in the world. You know, a lot of fighters at that time was always looking at Las Vegas. But what made you decide that you wanted to stay in Eastern Pennsylvania?
Well, you have 30,000 people that filled the whole city.
Mm-hmm.
It was quiet, and the blacks was good. Everybody was good. Everybody mind their own business and did the work right nothing. And that's how I got stuck in there. That's why they called me the Eastern Assassin. I
Yes.
gave them the name. And McFadden and Whitehead, I got permission from them before I even start playing. Ain't no stopping us now.
Uh
I
huh.
got permission. Yeah.
Right. Now, obviously, Larry, after you won your championship fight, I mean, you had a lot of fights. I believe 20 successful title defense or 20 fights that you had.
Mhm.
And the list, I mean, from Carl the Truth Williams, Tim Witherspoon, um,
And they were crazy.
crazy.
I didn't want to fight no guy. No guy was fighting, man. They were city fighters.
Uh huh.
Like you go into New York in the wrong neighborhood, they beat you up. You go down to Philadelphia in the wrong neighborhood, they beat you up. So that's what I had to look at. But they respected me, and I was okay.
Well, some people say now that we're talking about Tim Witherspoon, that might have been your toughest fight, and some people say it could have easily been a draw. Now, how did you look at that fight at the time, fighting Tim Witherspoon? I mean, he gave you a real tough challenge that up until that
Yeah,
point you was kind of cruising
he
through.
he fought me. He fought Witherspoon was one of the top fighters that I fought.
Hmm.
But guess what? Larry Holmes had the jab.
Hmm.
Whop, I whopped him with it. Whop. And said, "Are you hungry?
Uh-huh.
Whop. Did you eat yet? Whop."
Uh-huh.
You know, that's how I got over Witherspoon.
Uh-huh.
But he was tough.
Tough.
We friends now.
Right.
He was tough then.
Uh-huh. But up until this point, I mean, you was cruising from 1980. Then this big, they call it the Great White Hope, whole theme image of Jerry Cooney,
Very cool.
and that built up as one of the greatest, well, promoted as one of the biggest fights at that time.
We're
Um,
we're friends now.
yes, and Jerry was a guest on the show a few months ago. But what was your intake on going up against Jerry Cooney? Was you looked at him? Was it any intimidation, any nervousness, anything about this
No,
guy that made
there
you
was no
want
nervousness.
the nerves?
No,
uh,
no, I know what I had to do. And Jerry was tall and whatever, and I had to get over his jab because he was throwing his jab
mm,
and trying to imitate me, and I wouldn't let him, and I had to show him my jab, and
yeah.
then I say, "Are you hungry? Did you eat yet? Well, eat this." Bang,
Yeah.
bang, and that's how I got Jerry. Got him in his head. I still say it.
Yeah, but see that fight was a great fight, but he hit you low blows. I think three
Yeah,
times in that fight.
9 times.
Nah, okay, more than
He hit
yeah,
me so many times I could have called a cab and go to the
yeah.
hospital. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta bring this up because I remember again as this fight, and I remember the post interview that you said You said I was gonna have sex, but something else didn't happen. He had hit you. I remember you making that statement after the fight, something about that. Because I mean, them low blows was just devastating that he was hitting you with. But I just had to say that.
He said he didn't mean it.
uh,
Even though today when we hook up, because we hook up every once in a while, I said, Jerry, you hit me below the belt 10,000 times.
yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
Uh,
He meant to hit me, but I was determined, man, not to let that boy beat me. In front of all my friends and to the media. I couldn't let Jerry do that to me. I had to knock him out, and I did.
right. But I mean, you didn't really get a good fair billing because I mean, everything about that fight. I mean, I believe the president of the United States, they had the phones set up and
They had it. They had it.
everything that he was going to be the world champion. You were announced first when the champion should be announced last. There was some heavy racial tones. Some people say Don King kind of played up the race card in that fight. I mean,
He did.
Mhm.
Jerry with the Rocky Marciano situation. That what got me. Rocky Marciano I was breaking his record, and that was a no. Rocky Marciano was the greatest, and people even to this day, people look at me and say that Rocky Marciano was all joke. That wasn't joke. Y'all said it. You said it, and that was it.
Yes. But I mean, obviously, you proved the world that you were the better fighter and you were the best at that time. I mean, defeating Jerry Cooney, and it was I guess you could say it was a pretty good fight. I don't know if it was the best fight, but it was a pretty good fight overall. And people say you are in the top 5 of the greatest world boxing heavyweight champions. Some people say, and it don't have to be in this order: Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, and Larry Holmes. Do
You know
you?
what? I don't mind taking a backseat to them guys.
Mm-hmm,
Listen, Marciano, Muhammad Ali. How can I argue anything with
mm,
them guys? It was there for me because I continue to carry on after their titles was gone. I just enjoyed it, and I don't mind.
mm-hmm. Do you feel confident or optimistic enough to say that had you fought any of those fighters with both of y'all being in your prime at the same time that you would defeat Joe Louis, Jack Johnson, Ali, Marciano?
You know what? I can't say that,
Mm-hmm,
but they can't say that about me either.
mm-hmm,
Um, I I got to know Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis and all those guys. I got to know them guys. I got to meet them. I got was able to talk to them
mm-hmm.
and eat lunch with them and stuff like that. And I did that. How many fighters that are alive today that can say what I just said?
Mm-hmm.
Them guys, Joe Louis, you know, Rocky Marciano. I, when I was hanging around with Roy Patterson and guys like that, it was neat. It was honored that people run up to him and asking for an autograph. That was neat. I was really thrilled with that because them guys done it, and I would praise them just like anybody else do it. I was glad to be just a part of what they were.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, to put you in the top 5 of the greatest heavyweight world champions, that's a tremendous high honor to go along
Yeah.
with being inducted into International Boxing Hall of Fame. And how did that make you feel when you got inducted in the International Boxing Hall of Fame?
Well, my wife did more crying than I did.
Uh, uh,
But I stopped crying. She said, "Why don't you stop? What
right.
are you crying for? they honoring you. I said, well, why are you crying?
Uh-huh.
And I was crying. So
Right.
it was great.
Right. And again, you had many great fights. I mean, during that span of your world heavyweight championship. Trying to think who comes to mind.
Only one fight I didn't like that they wouldn't let me have.
Mm-hmm.
Big George Foreman. They
Yeah.
wouldn't let me have George. George Foreman fight me. He beat everybody, knocked everybody out, and he wouldn't fight me. And I called him personally on the phone and talked to him, George, why don't we just fight and get this money? And he won't go on about $10 million to pick. That's a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't think so. George didn't need no money.
Now, you talking about the fighting each of the two of you fighting in your prime or after y'all became older?
Yeah, in my prime.
In your prime, okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, there was some talk about the two of you fighting later on too, but that fight never came about as
He
well.
never come. Listen, last week I called him. So George, why didn't you fight me, man? You should have fight me, man. Let's don't talk about that. Hang on.
Uh-huh. And
No,
everything.
that's what George was. I respect the guy. He didn't want to fight.
Right.
He admits to me that he couldn't win.
Oh, he did admit that?
Well, by not fighting me,
Uh-huh.
you got the money right here in the bag. All you had to do is take it, and
Uh-huh.
we got to fight.
Yeah. Now, I believe you were supposed to fight Greg Page and you didn't fight Greg Page and they stripped you for your title. How did that whole thing come about, if that's
No,
correct?
that wasn't any script for the Greg Page.
Uh-huh.
No, I lost my title, but not because Greg Page. I wanted to fight Greg Page
Mm-hmm.
because that was another $10 million or $8 million, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a money hogger. That's what I was. I fought for money.
Uh-huh.
He said, Larry, you got to fight, and it's going to beat the gorilla in the vanilla. I say, glove him up.
Yeah, to do that. Well, again, I mean, you defeated Tex Cobb. I mean, that you really gave him a beating. There was many fights in that span. And then all of a sudden, Michael Spinks moves up from the light heavyweight division to the heavyweight.
He didn't beat me. I didn't hit him like I should have hit him
Mm-hmm.
because they gave me a decision. But he didn't beat me. He didn't beat me.
Mm-hmm.
But he's okay too. He's a good guy. Like I go to functions with him and stuff like that. He's a pretty good guy, but he ain't no heavyweight. He'll
Mm-hmm.
never be a heavyweight.
Now, again, you feel both of those fights that you clearly defeated, that you should have got the decision, but fighting Michael Spinks, and that would have gave you a 50-0 record, and you would have passed Rocky Marciano's record if you would have got the decision for those two fights. And after
That's why I didn't get them because they didn't want me to pass my.
Oh boy,
They didn't want to pass that.
that's that.
Everybody. I mean, my whole family went crazy.
Uh-huh. And then
That
you
was
and then you kind of got a little bitter, saying some comments about Marciano that I don't know if that really helped you or hurted you, but
Oh, what I said was that he couldn't carry my jockstrap.
yeah.
That's what, and to me, that's just a slang. Everybody, all fighters say something
Uh-huh.
that gets them in trouble, and that's it. Marciano can carry my jockstrap.
Yeah.
Y'all can holler up Rocky Marciano all day long, all day Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. He couldn't carry my jockstrap. Why can't I feel good about myself?
What about the similarities, Larry, that people say Marciano fought Joe Louis when Louis was past his prime, and people
Every,
say Larry Holmes fought Ali when he was past his prime? Is that fair to really not give y'all the credit just because you fought a fighter maybe a little?
don't give me no credit because you say whatever you want about me. I don't really care, But I know what I did and where I come from. I know Rocky Marciano was a great fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Ali's a great fighter. Joe Louis is a great fighter. And I can keep going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
But they were great fighters. But they couldn't beat me.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. But that's okay. They want to say Marciano was a great. Yeah, he was great. Great. How great? Great enough to be out here with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, you look at maybe the competition of fighters that you fought comparable to the competition of fighters that Marciano fought that kind of separates the two. Would you say that you fought a tougher level of competition? I know you can't compare different eras now. Eras do somewhat
Yeah.
play a role, but would you say the competition of fighters that you fought was more stronger than Marciano's?
Well, let me tell you this: the guys that Marciano beat coming up, could they fight?
Mm-hmm.
Were they good enough to step in the ring with him? Yeah, because they was in there.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got there, say, hey, I said one thing: the record of Marciano, even the white folks said Marciano couldn't carry your jockstrap, Larry.
Right.
You're a great fighter. You was a good man. I know I'm a good man. Marciano was a great fighter. Can't take nothing away from them guys.
Mm-hmm.
They risked their life getting in the ring and trying to show they all. And that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Marciano was a great man. And I ain't gonna try to take that away from him. In your opinion, he was greater than great.
Right.
In my opinion, he was just great. That's the way we did. Sometimes we just talk too much, I guess. And
Yeah.
I did talk a lot.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing about your talk is you could back it up. I mean, nobody can't
Yeah.
say that Larry didn't walk the walk. You
Thank you.
fought everybody that came in your direction. You didn't really duck anybody, and you
I want
definitely.
to thank you for saying that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you my bodyguard from now on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you look like you're still in great shape. In other words.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
So, Champ, what are you currently doing now? I mean, are you in business or anything in particular? How you're living your life now?
Well, I still have my businesses in the Eastern, but I'm getting rid of them because they, they ain't working for me. So I'm getting rid of the bars and stuff like that, and apartments. I'm tired of people robbing me, taking money. I'm just tired of it. But Eastern is okay with me. I ain't worrying about it. I don't have to work no more.
Uh
But
huh.
I'll be glad to make an appearance for you if you want to pay me.
Pay you.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
come on
come
down.
on down. Well, you still like to do singing too, isn't you? Like a singer, you still love singing.
Listen, people, I'm Larry Holmes.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you how I have grown. I work so hard each and every day. Take it from me, and there's no better way.
Uh.
Life is short, so I play it straight. I enjoy the day before it's too late. I keep from getting down. Because I want to take you out in the next round. Bam!
Yeah.
Something like that.
Uh. But Larry, why you had fought up until you was 52 years old of age? So what made you wanted to continue fighting even after you fought? Let's say you lost to Mike Tyson. I mean, what was driving you to still want to continue to fight beyond that
I
stage?
wanted to show them that I can fight, but you know what they did to me? And Don King is part of it because he did it too. Mike Tyson, good puncher, hard puncher, can't box but he can punch.
Mm-hmm.
And if he hits you, you going good night Irene.
Right.
That's Mike Tyson, and that's why I fought him because Don King I needed somebody to beat up,
Uh
and
huh.
that was me. So Mike Tyson went out there, threw a jab, right hand, bang, 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 hit me. Then I said, "What the hell?"
Right. And also
Then
but also you defeated Ray Mercer too. Now Ray Mercer was much younger than you, so people don't realize that you fought Ray Mercer, who was a top contending fighter, and you defeated him. And so, how did that make you feel? Fighting and beating him at the stage that you were in.
Ray Mercer was a good guy,
Mm-hmm.
nice guy. He told me he gonna kick my butt, tear me up, and I said, you're gonna have to because I'm gonna bring it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I did. I brought it to him. I got in shape. Because you know how it is out on Friday night, Saturday night, guys want to buy me a beer, I take it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was a great fight with Ray Mercer. And he's still a good guy. Even now, to this day, he's a good guy.
Uh-huh. And then you had a brawl with Evander Holyfield. That was a tough loss, but you fought him. But keep in mind, these men were younger than you. They were kind of in their prime, and you still was able
Holyfield
to.
didn't beat me, man.
He didn't beat you? Okay.
He didn't beat me. I beat him, or they just gave it to him.
Okay.
You know how this, they tired of you, Larry Holmes. Get out of here.
Uh-huh.
We ain't gonna give you the decision.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's true because out of those fights, let's say past your prime, and I don't mean that in a negative way,
Yeah.
but other than the Mike Tyson fight, you really didn't get knocked down, or did you?
No.
Okay, so other than the Mike Tyson, and obviously Mike Tyson was a dominating fighter, so
He still is.
mhm.
Still now he's training fighters in the gym. He's a good guy. I don't know. I can't find words to talk about Mike because he does whatever he want to do whenever he want to do it, and he comes out okay. So I praise him.
Yes,
If you need help, call me. I'm on the phone.
you're on the
I'm ready
phone.
to help him.
Yeah. Well, again, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I got to give special thanks to your wife, Diane. Really, she works like y'all work as a tandem, like a team, and everything. And I would always see her by your side whenever you go to your fights. I
40
mean,
years. 40 years
40
with this
years.
lady. 40 years.
Right. But always by your side, though. Whenever you was going to the fights, I would always look at her, and look at you after the fights. It seemed like she was always right there for you and everything. And really a tremendous honor interviewing you this morning.
Yeah.
Anything closing towards the end of this show that you would like for people to know a little bit more about your life?
Well, I just want people to know that I'm okay and I'm well, and I hope that they are well and healthy and don't take any Winnie nickels, because we only go around once, so you might as well enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna enjoy my life. I enjoy you to be on your show, and thank you for having me on your show.
Mm-hmm.
And more people should do the same thing. They should congratulate you and thank you for putting them on the air.
Yeah. Well, again, it's my honor because as a kid growing up, I would always watch this Larry Holmes, and me and the kids at school, some of them didn't really care for you, but I said, look, man, the man is just a winner. You just got to give the man his props. I mean, this man goes in there and fights everybody. He comes out victorious. Used to watch the fights with my uncle, and we all respected you, man, and said, some people would say maybe your biggest obstacle psychologically or some degree is that you came right after Ali. And that you
That's the problem, that I get a lot of that. A lot of people say you couldn't beat Muhammad Ali. I was his sparring partner. I know how to whoop him.
Yeah. That's what I was always hear, that you kind of under his shadow. You just Ali was such a great boxing legend. You came.
I love that man.
You love them, exactly.
I love that man. That man was my friend. He gave me a job as a sparring partner. A hell of a job though, but he was his man, and I respected it. I never tried to knock him down or take out a lot of. He was great, man. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, and I'm glad people hear this, how you really feel about the Ali, the great legend, because sometimes people don't realize the kind of camaraderie that the two of you had and how you felt about him, and that's a real good honor for you to say that. Well, champ, I really appreciate you being actually the first guest on the revamp edition of All About You. I've done this show in the past, but never via Zoom. So it's a great honor interviewing you this morning.
Do we get paid for this?
No, Larry, I don't think you're gonna get a check for
Oh,
this. I gotta be honest with you, Larry. It's not gonna be no check coming
ain't
in the
gonna be no
mail.
shame.
But again, people can watch you, but there's no check. And no,
No
I know you
shame.
love business. You kind of remind me a little bit of Don King now when you say the check.
You think I did it from,
uh,
Don King.
Don King, anything. But Champ Larry, again, I really appreciate you being a special guest this morning, and I wish you and your wife Diane all the blessings in the world. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we here and we for all the fighters for advice or whatever. I give it to them. You
Okay.
know, it might not be right, so you don't think it's gonna be right. Don't take it.
All right. All right, Larry, I was going to have to be your last words, and I really appreciate you being a guest. And for people out there, again, I had enjoyed interviewing one of the greatest boxing heavyweight champions of all time, Larry Holmes, and I look forward again to being back here next week, if it's God's wills, hosting and producing this edition of All About You. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay.